Hello and welcome to another art house movie review. This time I'm reviewing the film Return to Seoul, directed by Davy Chou. So this film is about a French woman, Freddie, who was born in Korea but brought up in France by adopted parents. And it's a really interesting film about clashes of culture and conflicts of identity. It reminded me a little bit of The Farewell, directed by Lulu Wang, which kind of addressed a similar theme. Freddie is totally French, but this is really disrupted when she arrives in Korea by the realization that there's a part of her identity that has never been explored. I found the opening scene of this film extraordinary. Freddie arrives in a guest house and the woman behind the counter and her, they just stare at each other in silence, and it's a really meaningful look. For a second I thought it was going to be her sister or something like that, but there is this moment where she's connecting with something and the two of them do make an amazing connection, although Freddie actually blows that up as she does with most of her relationships. Freddie is played by Park Ji-min, and this is actually her acting debut. She's an artist, and you really wouldn't know this because it's a fantastic performance. Her facial expressions are just incredible. There's so much more to Freddie than just the words that come out of her mouth, and this is really portrayed on her face. It's a really amazing acting performance. She has like these personality shifts and it's all just so convincing. Freddie's alluring, she's attractive, she's super interesting, but at some level this is all superficial, and underneath she's a bit chaotic and almost like a volcano that can erupt at any point. It's like she's got this hidden trauma inside her that when she gets disturbed or angry, it just comes out, and we see this in the way that she treats other people, in the way that she drinks, even in the way that she dances. At the same time, we're clearly aware of a great sensitivity in Freddie. She keeps mentioning music, and we know that she has a sensitivity to music, and we can tell that despite the fact that she's got this tough badass exterior, she's actually a really complex character, and that's so well portrayed in the acting. I just think it's a fantastic performance. To a large extent, the story is based on the experience of a real person, Law Badoufle, who's a friend of Davy Chou's, and Law says that she had this love-hate relationship about Korea and her biological family, and that she felt an impulse and a repulsion at the same time, and that's what we really feel in the character of Freddie. Now, Freddie's first language is French, and so she doesn't actually speak Korean, so a lot of the film is in French and some of it in English. And the impact of French on the film is actually quite interesting because we have quite a few of the Korean characters that can speak French for various reasons. And at first I felt like it made the acting kind of wooden because people were speaking in a language which wasn't natural to them. But there was something about a lot of the film being in French that really worked. It really felt like the lines were delivered in a very deliberate, articulated and considered way that you just wouldn't do if you were speaking your own language. So I really loved the poetry of how this film sounded. A film like this could easily become cliched in terms of the culture clash, but it never does this. And although it never goes for the obvious cliches, it's still totally satisfying because emotionally it addresses everything, but not in a clean way. Emotionally, everything is so messy. There is a really nice narrative and flow to the film because we see Freddie visiting Korea over a span of her life through her 20s, and so we see her change and evolve. And I think that the final scene does give us some kind of resolution. At one point Freddie talks about sight reading, and I think that for me the ending was saying that life is like sight reading music, that there is a structure and you just have to try and jump in and do the best that you can. And this is the way she lives her life. She's surviving, but she's never comfortable. Yet there is some relief as she's explored and unleashed some of her hidden identity. I thoroughly enjoyed this film. It's really excellent and I highly recommend it. Thanks for watching. See you next time.